But Therese no need to wait for the order to flee to the bunkers to experience that warm, friendly and reassuring voice of hers. All of that, and the poet's brilliance with words is available in Channel 5's new documentary The Cotswolds and Beyond with Pam Ayres, a gentle but informative journey through some of the most beautiful and relaxing landscapes in Britain. Not that warm, reassuring, gentle and relaxing are words that readily sprang to Pam's mind when she was filming the six-parter. Some of what was endured was anything but. "It was the most terrifying experience I've ever had," Pam shudders, recalling her stint driving a steam engine on the Dean Forest Railway in Gloucestershire. "The crew, Kieran and Harry, were gorgeous and friendly, but I was panic-stricken, with this huge, fiery furnace at my feet and the deafening steam whistle sounding in my ear. I was desperate to get away, but had to endure it, even though all my instincts were telling me to flee." Pam felt trapped again when she stepped deep into the ruins of a Roman amphitheatre on the edge of Cirencester, also in Gloucestershire. "It was just creepy, remembering how people, in Roman times, would have been imprisoned down there, or fighting somebody, with no chance of escape. It wasn't a nice feeling. And the Pitville pump room in Cheltenham wasn't much better. The spa water she tried there was disgusting," she says, while the venue itself revived memories of a difficult moment in the spotlight. "I gave a performance there many years ago, and because of the domed ceiling the sound quality from my radio microphone was terrible and there were people shouting, 'We can't hear you.' It was harrowing, a disaster." All of which might suggest she didn't have a particularly happy time filming The Cotswolds and Beyond, but she regards the above as occupational hazards. Pam, who found fame on TV talent show Opportunity Knocks in 1975, says, "I wasn't sure I was doing the right thing or not when I was asked to film the previous series, The Cotswolds with Pam Ayres, but I thoroughly enjoyed filming that and this one too. It has been a big departure for me. It's not the kind of work I've done much of, and it's meant being part of a team, which is not something I'm used to. I lead quite a solitary life, do lots of writing at home, go out and perform and then go home again. But I've felt comfortable in my own skin just chatting away about what these places mean to me rather than reading from a script that somebody else had written. It's as if I've been talking to a friend, and it made a nice change from what I normally do. Just don't ask me to drive another steam engine," she laughs. "Never ask me to do that again." Pam, who is married to theatre producer Dudley Russell and has 2 adult sons, was in makeup shortly before 2 a.m. on a misty morning, getting ready to film dawn breaking across Stonehenge in the first episode, an experience she describes as overwhelming. The National Arboretum in Gloucestershire also features in the first programme, and Pam visits Highclere Castle in Hampshire, where Downton Abbey is filmed, in episode 2. She received the grand tour from owner Lady Carnarvon and learnt about Highclere's links to the opening of Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt 100 years ago, but admits that she struggled to separate fact from fiction. "I kept expecting Mr. Carson from Downton Abbey to emerge through one of the doorways," she admits. Prince Charles' Garden at Highgrove and the Henley Royal Regatta, where her guide is Olympic rowing legend Sir Steve Redgrave, are the star attractions in episode 3. The feel-good show will doubtless be a bit of an antidote to the current cost of living crisis, although it wasn't planned that way. "I'm not out there to alleviate people's worries about their mortgage, although I'm delighted if you think the program will lift people's spirits," she says. "I certainly hope it plugs into things that people can laugh at, be interested in and be concerned about." Best known for her comic poems, her ode to oral hygiene "I Wish You'd Looked After Me Teeth" was voted Britain's 10th most popular. Pam's more recent output has shifted the balance towards subjects she believes we should be worried about, rather than merely amused by. A country girl through and through, her latest book of verse, Who Are You Calling Vermin?, focuses on the crisis in our rural communities. It covers everything from fisherfolk who can no longer afford to live near their jobs because of pricey second homes in coastal towns and villages to water companies that pour sewage into our rivers. It's a light-hearted but sour look at the countryside, says Pam, for whom the subject matter is close to her heart. It's definitely not countryphile. Nor, she insists, is Who Are You Calling Vermin? A belated attempt to enter the world of politics, even if her status as a national treasure would doubtless guarantee plenty of votes. I do feel more confident about voicing my feelings as I get older, says Pam, 75, and Who Are You Calling Vermin? Is certainly quite a political document from someone whom people probably regard as happy-go-lucky and who can knock out a bit of verse that will make them smile. But politics? I look around and I despair, but I don't think I've got what it takes. I'm certainly not a tub thumper. I'm happy to snipe from the sidelines. Pam, who recently described herself as an ancient monument on Twitter, says she has limited ambitions, now that she's halfway through her 8th decade. I would like there to be a musical version of Who Are You Calling Vermin? I believe it would make a good show, but that's about it. I feel very happy and very lucky as I am. I have a nice family, a great crowd of grandchildren, 5 of them, aged from 2 to 9, a nice home and a good career, that doesn't seem to abate. I hope I can carry on writing. I wouldn't want to stop, so I hope my health doesn't deteriorate to the point where I can't do that anymore because I get a huge amount of satisfaction from it. Pam worries about the kind of world her grandchildren will inherit. She fears it will be congested and polluted, and it's not by chance that the subjects of conservation and recovery feature prominently in the Cotswolds and beyond. She delights in seeing water voles, one of Britain's most endangered species, making a comeback at Letcombe Brook, in the Cotswolds, in episode 1, and later in the series she visits the Vale Wildlife Hospital in Tewkesbury to meet volunteers helping poorly and injured hedgehogs, another threatened species, return to the wild. Much of the 3rd episode is devoted to Pam's visit to Highgrove, where Prince Charles talks at length about how sustainability is at the heart of everything he does, at his magnificent home. The poet and the prince clearly hit it off. We had a nice chat, and a laugh. I always go to the restaurant at Highgrove at Christmas for a meal with friends, and Prince Charles asked me what the food was like there and I told him it was fit for a prince. It was actually the 2nd time we had asked if we could film at Highgrove, after being knocked back before Series 1. They obviously didn't like the cut of our jib, the first time around. Adds Pam, I think it helped that I sent Charles a poem about hedgerows, how beautiful they can be and how useful they are in providing food and shelter for wildlife, which he said he'd read and liked. Perhaps he thought my heart was in the right place, perhaps that's why he let us in this time. The Cotswolds and Beyond with Pam Ayres starts on Channel 5 at 8 p.m. on Friday, September 2nd. Who Are You Calling Vermin? Published by Ivory Publishing, will be available from September 8.